nutrition goes and your exercise, a lot of people make it really complicated, and it could be, you could break it down so it's a lot easier to follow. All right. How many people watch their weight in here? Like you get on the scale, you look at what you weigh.
I look at it, I don't worry.
All right, goodness. Yeah, that's the bodybuilding. Okay, so how many people like get your body fat done? You ever have a body fat check before? What's that?
That's what they like this, right?
With either a caliper or they'll stick you in a tank. They'll test you like with water and just other ways to do it.
I don't have it.
So you don't have it?
Like when you went like this, he's like, you got about it.
Who did it?
Check out. One of the doctors. Somebody did it.
Yeah.
They took that thing. It's like a little ball.
What type of goals would you have as far as like you individually for what you do? Like your goal. If you're doing like track stuff, right? You're running most of the time. So would you design your workout and nutrition towards that?
No, I don't even have nutrition.
What did you eat for breakfast today?
Egg and cheese.
Egg and cheese?
Exactly.
All right. Do you know what the egg and cheese is?
Chicken.
All right. Well, basically, this is stuff I'll show you. This makes it real easy. All right. So, have you seen this food pyramid thing before?
Doesn't shine, no cereal box.
So, all right, cereal box, back of bread, Cheerios, Wonder Bread. They all have this thing on the back. All right. The reason they have this, they put all their carbs down here. They say the majority of your day should be carbohydrates. They give you energy. All right. So your carbs are bread, pasta, rice, potatoes, cereal. Those type of foods, more complex carbs. You also have your rice, your fruit and vegetables, right, which will also be a carbohydrate, but they're simple carbs. They burn faster. All right. A complex carb like pasta before a game, it's complex. It gets in your body. It breaks down a lot slower than if you were to have like 2 bananas. They'll burn up faster. They're simple carbs. They get in your system. They go on like 100 even faster. That's got a lot of sugar in it. Same thing. It's quick. All right. There's bread in there, but there's also sugar on it. All right. So that'll raise up your insulin level. You'll feel a lot of energy. Like when you have a candy bar, then you're gonna crash. A complex carb, like potato or rice, is gonna get in your system. It's gonna break down slower. You're gonna have steady energy throughout the day. All right. We'll get into that throughout the day. How you're gonna eat. All right. You know this food pyramid thing? How they say eat your balanced day? Like your whole day should be this balanced. All right. Well, over here you get carbs. So you got pasta, rice, potato, cereal, and bread. Those are like your basics. That's complex, so they break down slower in your body. Then you got the simple carbs, your fruits and vegetables. Basically, most of your vegetables, they got your vitamins and stuff, but they're going to be like rubbish. They're going to kind of just clean you out. You eat a head of lettuce and stuff today. So you get a lot of people, they want to lose weight, they eat soup and like a salad all day long. But it's really not the right way you want to go about it. All right? Then you got your protein foods over here, all right? You know what protein does? It builds muscle, it repairs muscle. So you got your protein, you got chicken, turkey, fish, you got all your dairy, you got egg and cheese that was protein. Alright? You got your fat. There's 2 types of fats. You got your fats from meats, stuff like that. They're you got all your meats and stuff, all that saturated fat. Fills up your arteries. You got people with heart problems and stuff that eat too much saturated fat. You got unsaturated fat, which are like canola Where if you eat a white fish like cod, it has less fat. Alright, so each type of food is going to have different nutrients in it. Alright, now, if you guys are able to think of your food in what they are, you know, a lot of people, they like pizza, they eat pizza all the time. If you think about what the pizza is as far as how many calories, how many grams of fat you're going to be getting from each slice, you're going to be thinking about your food different. Alright, a lot of people just eat. They just eat, they don't think about it. They're not conscious of what they're having and when they're having it and why. Alright, as athletes and the way you're training, you want to get better. Alright, there's no reason that as you get older, you should get more out of shape. This shouldn't be like your prime time. You should actually get in a lot better shape now. If you're going to college, you're going to play more sports, you're going to do better. This is the way you're going to go about it. Alright, it's going to be this in a combination with your training and your lifestyle. Alright, so you got your fats, you got oil, you got all your stuff from your meats. Most of it's coming from your protein all the time. You eat pizza, you know, you get the cheese, it's high fat cheese. It's going to give you a lot of fat. Alright, we also have things like butter. Butter is saturated fat. Alright, you got margarine, it's unsaturated, has less saturated. So you might do margarine instead of eating all your butter. Alright, what you want to do is think about each meal. Like if you eat breakfast in the morning, right? You just had eggs. That's all you have. All you eat is protein, right? You love the bread. Bread would be carbohydrates. So balance it out a little more. A whole egg has an egg yolk in it. The egg yolk has fat in it. So you'll see people eat egg beaters, egg whites, stuff like that, alright? You're going to cut down on the amount of fat they eat. Alright, a lot of people ask me, what should I eat? And the thing is, it's a complex question. You can't really give an answer like, eat this. Because it doesn't mean that that's right. You know, a lot of people are going to give you advice all the time. They're going to say, eat this, eat that, eat that. You know, but they don't really know unless they look at your lifestyle. Right? What you want to look at is, you know, a lot of people say they have fast or slow metabolism. Alright? What is your metabolism? Like, are you born with it? Is it something you just have? You have metabolism, right? Are people born with a slow metabolism? Bad. Okay, well that's one thing you got to look at, all right? Because your metabolism is going to be made up of different things, all right? So, say you eat one time a day, you eat a big dinner, you work your job, but you don't eat because you're busy. All right, you go home and you watch TV and you eat this like big meal from the time you get home. That person's going to end up having a slow metabolism, right? You kind of set your body up to be that way, right? Because metabolism is the amount of energy, the amount of like calories and stuff you burn. All right, somebody that's very muscular and very big, and strong. You think you're going to have a fast metabolism? No. Well, there's different.
I only eat one stuff. Like if I'm eating a
Can't gain weight. You want to?
Yeah, so you like constantly fall in.
All right. Well, give me an average day. What would you have this morning? This morning you were. Or yesterday. Give me yesterday. What did you have for breakfast yesterday?
Cereal in the morning, then I had egg and cheese. Oh, and food we made some more eggs.
When did you have that? What time was this?
This is like from 6 to 8.
This is 6 to 8?
Yeah, and we made some more eggs.
Around 8 o'clock? Yeah, how many eggs do you have? How many eggs?
Probably like
2 eggs.
But then,
So this was 6 a.m., right?
this was like 6 o'clock. And then, you know, lunchtime came, I had a sandwich with turkey and cheese.
12 o'clock?
Yeah, like
11:30?
I had turkey and cheese, chips, pickles, 2 rolled up.
So,
And I had some milk.
you didn't know?
Before track practice, I had a little muffin.
Muffin?
They little ones.
A little like a snack.
And after practice, I had a bowl of cereal.
What time is this muffin?
This after, like, at the end of the night, all I thought was it.
So, okay. You all want to like do this for yourself. You know, you want to see just what you're doing. All right. A lot of people don't. They don't really look at what it is they're doing and how they look. All right. Now, during how long do you run? 2:30. So what? 3 hours? How many hours total are you running?
Running total, probably just, and you only run 45 minutes.
45 minutes?
Let's see what I'll do.
Are you doing any weight training? No, just running. Okay, any other form of exercise?
I have basketball.
Yep. All right. So you got 2 days of basketball?
Like basketball Saturday.
Saturday? So you got 1 day a week of basketball. How many hours do you spend with basketball?
Like the quarter, I'm running the quarter. So hour.
So another hour of basketball. How many days a week are you doing this? 7 days, right? 5 times. So you got 5 times a week, 45 minutes running. You got 1 day a week of what, an hour of basketball? Okay. All right, so from this time here, when you get to school, most of your week days, right? 5 days a week, you go to school. All right. On weekends, what do you do on weekends? Same thing, or it's a little different? You wake up later. So you say for the most part, it's this here. And this is consistent, or is it change day to day?
Like, I don't got enough in the end. It's like,
Okay. What do you weigh now? 55? Okay. And you're lean too. Your body fat is probably very low. All right. Okay. Now, what do you want to do?
I want to be easy.
You want to get bigger? All right.
It's like 20 years.
All right. Now, what you want to do is really take a look at what you have in here. If your diet's not all that bad, as far as your whole day goes, he's eating often. All right. Now, you know what happens when you only eat a couple times a day? It ends up happening with different people. Okay. But like, say there's a desert, and this camel's gonna like drink a lot of water before it goes across the desert, right? So it's gonna collect all this water, and then slowly uses it up by against the other side. All right. Now, if there was a camel here, and it was like this river of water, like every 2 miles, it just took little bits of water as it was going across, it probably wouldn't need to collect all that water. It would be kind of waste to walk with this big hump of water when you just have a little bit each time. All right. So your body is kind of set up to store fat. All right. Everybody's body's set up to this. Like back when they're like cavemen stuff, you ate once a month. You would store up all this fat, and then you would live, and then you'd feast again. All right. But the thing is, because fat is for to survive, your body doesn't burn it when you stop eating. It's going to burn the muscle first before it burns the fat up. Because the fat is what it needs to survive, not the muscle. All right, so the more often you eat during the day, the less your body's going to say, okay, I need to store some fat here. Because you're constantly giving it food. All right, so you want to look at what time he gets up. He gets up and he eats. All right, which is good. All right, and
Yeah, I say that, right at the top, right? Why in the morning? I mean,
because you're eating a lot and you're active, so you got to be hungry.
so sleep, the way that I want to sleep.
Because you're lean, all right, because of your active, your lifestyle, you're going to be hungry. All right. Most people are going to be hungry unless you train yourself not to be. All right. If you're only eating a couple times a day, you've been that way for a long time, you're not going to get those hungry feelings all the time. All right. Okay. What we're going to look at just like how this thing, like we have what he does right here, all right? He's in school. How many hours a day in school? 5, 6? 6 hours in school.
So you compare me with a fat person, like a regular person?
Compare you with that?
Yeah, like, oh, my eating habits is like slightly more weight. That kind of
All right. Well, what do you want? There's a lot of people that say they work 8 hours a day, right? You got people that do this all the time. They wake up in the morning, they might have a bagel. If they eat anything. So they're in a hurry, they got to work. They work 8 hours a day, some job, sitting at a desk doing paperwork that they really don't like doing. And they're all stressed out, and they, maybe run out for lunch. They probably wouldn't be eating like you consistently throughout the day. They'd probably go out and they eat, some Burger King or something like that, go back to work, sit at their desk and do their work again. They go home from work, they sit down in front of the couch, they put on TV, and they eat a bag of chips until their dinner's ready. And then they wake up the next day and they do the same thing again. The person usually stores up a lot of body fat. Yeah, so that person has slow metabolism. Right? Metabolism is made up of different things. You've got to look at your activity level, your lifestyle, your exercise. What are you doing? All right? A muscular person, muscle burns calories. A muscular person burns more calories than somebody that doesn't have muscle. You build more muscle, you've got to eat more. All right? A lot of people want to gain weight. The way to gain weight is to eat more. All right? You got to eat more. All right? You take an empty glass of water, it's not going to gain more weight unless you pour more water in. All right? You got to eat more food, or else you got to do less.
Right? You always want, but your body takes it so much, and then you just grab it up.
Now you write this down. Write it down. And just start eating more, so you're going to get Okay. Well, the thing is, though, actually, you want to figure out how many calories you're actually burning. All right. Now, you get people that either they want to gain weight or they lose weight. First thing you want to do is look at what your weight is. All right. Like, what is weight? All right. Like, I weigh a certain number, but that number that I weigh is made up of different parts. Right. You got all your organs. You got bones. You got skin. You got muscle. You got fat. All right. So you got 2 different types of weight that you're weighing when you jump on the scale. A lot of people, they get on the scale and go, oh, I shouldn't weigh this much. Well, they shouldn't weigh exactly what they weigh because what they're doing is making them weigh what they weigh. So there's nothing wrong with what you weigh. It's if you want to change it, you've got to look at what you have to change to make the changes. All right, if you want to gain muscle, you've got to make something change. You've got to do something differently than what you're doing right now. All right, so what you do gives you what you got. So you got to do something different. All right? So now you got this weight, right? You got body composition. All right? I'm 6'1", I weigh 210. There's other people my same height weigh the same amount of weight as me, but their body composition is different. All right? If I went by a doctor's scale says I should weigh 180 pounds. I haven't weighed that in years, and I don't want to. All right? Because my body fat measurement is measuring low than the average percentage. It's lower. So it means I have more muscle on my body, I can eat more. Alright? So you want to kind of put that, weight ideas and what you should weigh and what you shouldn't weigh, just don't worry about that. Alright?
Well, how much should I weigh? How much you weigh?
As much as you want to weigh.
I want to do that.
How are you going to do that? That's what we're going to look at. How are you going
I
to
do
do that?
push-ups every day. Get your chest. No.
Alright? We're going to try to get to the point where you guys have a better understanding. Alright? If you want to do that, you got to figure out what you need to do it. Alright? Because you're good. Alright? You're not stuck the way you are. You can make changes. Just what you're doing right now is giving you that.
So I eat like more steak or
The steak is protein. That's beef.
So what should I eat to gain weight? Should I drink weight stuff?
Let's look at everything first. Look at all the facts, alright? Okay, so you got your weight. He weighs a certain number, alright? Alright, he weighs 155. If I had calipers or something like that, I could probably check his body fat level, alright? But you know he's under 10% body fat. Alright, now, there's people that are your same height that weigh different amounts and they carry different body compositions. Alright?
Like Richard. eating about the same height, but he got more.
He has more big mass.
Yeah, like
All right. So this makes up your weight. All right. You got weight. You got the scale. You got fat pounds. You got lean mass. All right. You got overweight people, which are like myself, and you got over fat people. All right. So if I was concerned with weight, I'd be trying to lose weight right now because somebody told me I should weigh something else. All right. The thing is, it's not true. You want to realize it's not true. You want to weigh whatever you want to weigh.
Does your height get it?
No, not at all. I mean, I can weigh whatever number I want to weigh. All right. Don't be too concerned with it, but look at it as a guiding point. All right. You got to see how your clothes fit. You got to see how much fat you really have. Look in the mirror. Use that as your guide. All right. You want to be stronger. You want to be faster. You want anything, it's the muscle that does that. Fat doesn't really make you stronger. A lot of people, they think, you get people all the time that want to get stronger and stuff. They think if they go out and they eat a lot more food and weigh more that they're stronger. A lot of it's all in their head. But muscle is what pushes the weight. Muscle is what burns calories. All right, so you see more and more people training with weights now, right? You got like basketball players, track people and stuff to use some more different types of training techniques. All right, so all right, what you want to do is look at what you do every day. All right, what you do every day. Some people would eat a lot more calories one day than the other. Right? Some mornings you wake up, eat breakfast. Some days you skip breakfast. A holiday comes, you kind of go off the wall and eat whatever everybody else is eating. Right? These things are all going to affect you. Everything you eat has a consequence. You want to plan out what that's going to be. All right? You don't want to get to the point where you're like 25, 30 years old and you start getting a cut and think that it's just your metabolism's changing. It's not. Your lifestyle's changing. What you're doing is changing. If right now, you're playing sports, you're doing all these different things, you're burning calories. All right, when you get out of school, get out of college, you get a job that you're sitting at a desk all day, your metabolism is going to slow down. So what you want to do is just realize if you're doing it to yourself. Nobody's doing it to you. Nothing's happening with your body unless you're doing that. All right, so don't give anybody these ideas. You have the power over how your body's going to look. You can make any changes you want to make. All right, if you want to gain muscle, you got to see what you're doing right now. This is a certain amount of calories you're eating per day. We got to figure that out. Right? I can't figure out on the top of my head, but we can sit down with a nutritional book and we can figure out how much turkey you have, how many slices, how many amount of protein that is, how many calories that is. Your day has a total number of calories to it. All right? With your activity levels and what your body fat is, muscle burns calories. Everything you do burns calories. You burn a certain number of calories. You got two different things here. You got the calories you burn, you got the calories you take in. You want to gain more weight, you need to eat more than you burn.
So this is good, right? You said like people do a diet, right? They're like, yo, I don't got to eat like no cereal, food, bread, things like straight up. You know what I'm saying? Stuff like that. And I'm like, they make it like basic. Just get one type of protein.
Yeah.
And no type of carbohydrates.
Right.
Like no pasta.
You run, you need energy, you got to eat. All right? What you want to look at, too, this is how you're eating, listen to it. This is how smart you are. Okay? What you want to do now, so you want to see how your meals are. All right? Most people say eat a balanced day, right? You're going to say keep your fat below a certain grams per day, stuff like that. All right? Now you want to look at how your meals are set up, all right? He's eating 1, 2, 3, 4. He eats 5 times a day, right? What we want to look at is this third meal. That's not a meal, really. It's a muffin, right? It's like a snack. All right? So now what we said, right? We figured out that to gain
Melinda
muscle,
Adams, please come to the
gain
guidance
muscle, you
office.
eat more often,
Melinda
right?
Adams, please
So
come
less
to the
often.
guidance office.
Your body's not going to store as much fat.
Marissa
It's
and
going to be able to
Miranda, please
digest
come to
what
the
you
main
eat.
office.
You eat too much at once, your body's not going to use it
Jennifer
all.
Dolan, come to the main office.
All right, so you eat
Sharon
smaller
Rogers,
meals,
come to the
placed
main
throughout
office.
the day, all right? So figure out what time you wake up in the morning to what time you go to bed. He wakes up at 6 a.m., he goes to bed after 11. He wants to eat throughout the day. Right now he has 5 times set up. All right? We're looking at is meals, and we're seeing if the meals are balanced. All right, your body breaks down food as you put it in your mouth.
Shannon
Doesn't
Kirk,
wait
please
till the
come
end
to
of
the
the day.
audience. Shannon Kirk.
So your overall day will be balanced, but each meal is going to be balanced. So we got to balance out the meals. 5 times a day, balanced meals. Low in fat, high in carbohydrate, good amount of protein in each. All right. The first meal here, you got cereal. Okay. Well, you got to see that there's a lot of sugar in that, right? You want to eat complex carbohydrates, give you energy throughout the day.
So I can eat planetary.
You can eat oatmeal, cream of wheat. You can eat, you can eat Cheerios, things like that, right? Look at what it is. There's certain ingredients in that. Oatmeal is a lot better of a carbohydrate than Fruit Loops are. You just know that's common sense, right? If you eat a bowl of oatmeal, it's a little bit tougher. You got to discipline yourself for a while. You got to get into some new eating habits. But if you eat a bowl of oatmeal in the morning, there you go. That's your complex carbs, all right? Or you can eat fruit in the morning too. You can have like a banana, all right, an orange or something like that with that meal. You got protein. He's eating eggs, all right? You get eggs with whole cheese on them. You get a certain amount of fat. You want to balance out this meal so that the fat is lower. All right? You might want to cut down on the amount of yolks you have. Or you might want to take the cheese out and use a lower fat cheese. All right? There is, But you might want the fat too. It's going to depend on how we're going to set your day up, all right? So now you got your eggs. But if you're only having 2 eggs, that protein's pretty low for the amount of grams. All right, so you eat this here?
No, I eat a egg and cheese.
All right. Well, you might want to prepare yourself for it. You can make your own food. All right? One of the things that I did when I was competing and doing bodybuilding, right? My parents eat a certain way. All right? I was working out. I was going to Gold's Gym in Milford. It's like 1989. All right, I was working out like 3 hours a day. I wasn't doing much cardio, but always weightlifting. A lot of the same workouts I was doing were kind of repetitive throughout the week. I wasn't seeing results like right away. Nothing was happening. I wasn't seeing a lot of changes in myself. I was getting really frustrated. Right? But I was trying hard. I was working out hard. Most people, they start a workout program, they quit like within the first couple of months of it. And you know why it is? Because they really don't know how to go about that and how to see the changes constantly, all the time. All right. What you want to do is look at what you're doing, what you need to be doing, and where you want to go. Yeah, I did. I competed in a lot of different shows around Connecticut, and now I run the bodybuilding shows in Connecticut. I run the Mr. Connecticut. I run the Milford County. It just happened in March, and now I'm also rerunning the East Coast Iron Classic. All right. So these pictures should be coming around. See it, man? You got the pictures. Yeah, okay. A lot of the people, I train a lot of bodybuilders now.
I need to be trained because I'm a professional. I want to teach you.
Okay. Well, let's go over this stuff and let's just figure out, how do you do that? All right. We're gonna try to get you a better plan. All right. It's like if you're gonna get in your car today, right? You're gonna drive to Florida. You're gonna have a map how to get to Florida, right? You're going to know that if you drive straight to Florida today, it'll probably take you 24 hours, right? How long does it take to drive to Florida?
22 hours.
22? Okay. Non-stop. What if you hit traffic? It'll be a little longer, right? What we're going to do is give you like a map, how to get to the result that you want. All right? First, you got to figure out what you want. If you're going to Florida, you're going to California, you got to know. Either you want to get big or you want to get ripped, like lean. A lot of people go, I want to be big and ripped. Well, you're going in 2 directions at once. You got to figure out, what do you want? You want to gain muscle, you want to lose fat. All right? That's what we're thinking now. We're not just thinking weight. We're thinking muscle and fat. What do you want to gain? What do you want to lose? People go, I got to lose weight. They go, I got to lose 10 pounds. Like, how do you know you got to lose 10 pounds? 10 pounds of fat or 10 pounds of muscle and fat? It's easy to lose muscle and fat. Just don't eat. Your body will burn up muscle a lot faster than it'll burn up the fat. All right, you want to burn fat? You got to eat consistently throughout the day. You got to be prepared. You gotta know what you're having. A lot of people don't know what they have for lunch. What do you have for lunch? I don't know. Eat when I'm hungry. You know, what are you gonna have for dinner? I don't know, whatever my mother makes. I used to eat what my parents made me, you know, all the time. I used to work out really hard. What I was eating was a certain amount of calories. What I was doing was a certain amount of calories. What you do burns calories. All right? You go running after school. All right? You run 45 minutes. How many calories do you burn running for 45 minutes? What's something you got to figure out? I don't really know it in my head, but you know, it's something you can look at. You can actually figure that out.
So if I would eat that cereal in the morning, I would be able to have that next
Yeah.
first.
All right? If you play basketball for an hour on Saturday, you burn a certain amount of calories doing that. All right? Your body burns calories even when you sleep.
Yeah, that's all I got. Why am I sleeping in the morning?
All right? Because you're constantly burning calories. All right? As you sleep, you have something called a basal metabolic rate. The muscle you have on your body burns a certain amount of calories all the time. You can do absolutely nothing all day and you burn calories. Now you add in all this stuff that he does in his life. He does 45 minutes 5 times a week. He does an hour on Saturday. All right? Your body's burning a certain amount of calories all the time. You're in school, you're sitting here, you burn calories just to sit here. All right? You may burn more calories than somebody that weighs less than you and has more muscle than you. All right? You probably burn more calories sitting here than you do. Because you have more muscle. Okay, so
Tell him he's got a great metabolism. That's why he's always good. I mean, he's burning it off all the time.
all right, now if you want to gain muscle, first off, you said you're not doing any resistance training, right? You're not doing any weights. All right, now how does the muscle get bigger? All right, well, first off, you figure out you got to eat more. You got to balance out your meals. This one here isn't really a balanced meal, so he's going to change his meal with the muffin and eat maybe another sandwich here. You know, a carb, a protein. Over here. What's that? Nah, he eats it. Nah, you eat something, or maybe a drink, maybe a shake. You do something like that.
It'd be like just liquid, but you know what I'm saying? We'll give you that.
A shake, if it has the same amount of calories, it will. All right. So to figure out what you should eat, you got to look at what you're eating. All right, you got to look at what you're eating and what your lifestyle's like, and what you want to accomplish. You look at those 3 things, not just like what you eat and have somebody throw you, their opinion. Eat chicken, eat turkey, eat eggs. You know, doesn't mean that's right. You want to look at everything first. You got to take a background check and see what you're doing that's keeping you where you are and where you want to rather be. All right. So say you're driving to Florida, you got this map. All right, you're on your way, driving to Florida. What if you didn't have a map? How are you going to know how to get there? You're not. Just guess it.
95 south.
Just guess the way there. All right. Then there's certain things, people tell me all the time. Well, if I'm following this certain way of eating, right? I'm eating real good every morning. I'm having like egg whites, oatmeal, banana for breakfast. Then I'm having like a turkey sandwich with mustard instead of mayo. And then my whole day's structured and figured out. What if I want to have a piece of pizza? Well, you can have pizza, right? It's like you're here. You got this whole thing figured out, right? Figured out how many calories you burn, figured out how many calories you need. All right? If you want to gain 1 pound of muscle per week, you can figure that out. First thing you got to figure out is how many calories do you burn? All right? Same thing. If you want to lose 1 pound of fat per week, right? You can figure it out. You can do it. Right? Exactly. All right? You want to look at what you're doing. All right? There's people that have, a belly. They think it's just got there. All right? The thing you want to figure out is how do you get fat? How do you get your abs out? How do you make them show?
I thought you said that.
No, you can't spot reduce. You can't take fat off one part of your body. So people are wasting their time doing their stomach every single day.
Yeah, pussy.
They do sit-ups every day. It's like, why are you doing that? Well, I want a tiny stomach, so I do sit-ups every day. You know how many ab rollers sold? That guy is like a billionaire. And how many people are getting tiny stomachs off doing the ab roll? You know anybody got a tiny stomach from doing it?
It's like a hurt.
You know?
You should train me for free. See, so busy.
All right, what you want to do is you want to take off fat. Fat comes off everywhere. All right, it might collect more in one spot. You know, women are going to say they want to do their hips. You know, guys want to do their stomach all day long.
It's like, it's not meaty, it's just like, you know, like,
Work your abs out, work your abs. What do you play? What do you play?
I'm not footballing like,
All right. How do you want to look?
I want to be like 190 with like 175.
What do you weigh now?
184, something like that.
Okay. So you think your body fat's a little bit higher right now?
Yeah.
Probably about 14. 14 is an average amount of body fat that an average person would carry. All right? That's somebody who just works out occasionally for average. All right? You want to be better than average? A little bit. All right? You got to adjust your eating and your workout to that. All right? You want to look at, start writing down what you're eating. Write down what you eat. All right? Write down what you do. All right? Because that's giving you what you got right now. All right? So you want to make some changes. All right? Now, a lot of people think if they got fat in their stomach, that they eat too much. All right? But we just talked about that before. Some people eat once a day. Doesn't mean, too much and too little. It's kind of just like what you think it is. You know? You might think you eat a lot. And somebody else will say you don't eat a lot.
I don't think you could really like a fat person.
I eat more than you. A lot more.
What do you think?
Me, I had about 6 egg whites, I had a couple of bagels, I ate before that. I eat all day long. I just, 8 ounces of chicken, baked potatoes, pasta. When I was competing, I was writing everything down, weighing everything, beautiful, more exact. Now, basically, I could look at things and I could, keep myself right at my same weight. My weight hasn't changed. My body fat stayed the same now. Yeah, you get better. Every year of your life, you should get better. You should never get to a point where you can say, "Oh, in high school I was in great shape."
Yeah, but my legs are
You can get as much muscle as you want. All right. At a certain point. All right. Okay. So now, what you want to do is you want to figure out. You want to get some type of plan to follow. All right. Because right now you don't have a plan. You're just doing what you do. All right. Has your eating habits changed in the past year? Have you eaten anything differently than you have after talking to this coach and stuff like that when he tells you eat more protein? You kind of eat the same, right?
I eat more protein.
How'd you learn how to eat? Yeah, how'd everybody here learn how to eat? You just eat when you're hungry, right? All right. Did you ever sit down and figure out how many calories you eat in an average day?
I thought they were different.
Yes, most people, But you're still growing. You're going to get bigger, so you don't have to restrict your calories. But you don't even know what you're having now, all right? We got to figure out how many calories this is. All right? It's hard to do off the top of your head. You can figure out. You work a job, part-time or anything? Okay. Most people work a job, right? Say they work 40 hours. They get a paycheck every week. All right? They know what they're making per hour. They know what their paycheck is. All right? Everybody weighs a certain number. Everybody eats a certain amount of calories. You could be accountable, your own accountant. You gotta figure out what you're taking in, what you're putting out. All right? You're putting this out here. You're taking this in. All right? It's giving you right where you are. All right? You got a budget. You make a certain amount of money per week. You spend a certain amount. Most people live on credit. They spend more than they make. Most people are over fat. It's that simple, all right? It's calories. All right? You're not. It's like you get a paycheck every week, right? You go and you spend it. You go up to Mohegan Sun and you spend it up there. You go home, you run away, have no money. All right? It's like you're living life, right? You eat once a day, you switch meal, you blow it all right there.
I feel like fat. I consider it like a whole fat, like fat.
Yeah.
How much is in there cheating? Like,
It's not in the because those eating habits were passed down. And you didn't be responsible enough to know that what they're doing is giving them what they got.
So
Right.
if my mother was fat and my father was thin, so how do I eating habits be? Would I actually remove them?
You're going to eat whatever you like, all right? You're going to eat food you like, all right? But you're not going to be conscious enough to figure out, if you eat a cheeseburger at McDonald's, right? Most people don't think, can I eat a cheeseburger? How many calories was that? How many grams of fat was that? You don't think that way. You think, I like this food, so, I'm going to eat a pizza on Friday because Friday's pizza day, and I'm going to go to Burger King for lunch. I'm going to eat Burger King, and then I'm going to have, a couple bananas certain days. Somebody told me eat bananas, and somebody said eat pasta before I do this, so I'm going to do that. And you kind of pick up these eating patterns, these habits that you get, and you kind of just do the same thing every day. And then you look at how you weigh and what your body fat is and whether or not your abs are sticking out. You look in the mirror, and you may be starting to weigh more. You're getting taller. You're starting to eat a little bit more. But as you go through life, don't let yourself get to the point where you're sitting on the couch and you got this gut, and you're thinking, this is just what happens. It's not, So if you can learn this now, you can really hear, what I'm saying to you. You can get better. Through the years, you can get better. You're going to go to college, you want to play on track, you want to be the best athlete there is. Look at your training, look at what you're eating, look at what your life's like. You will get better.
Like with the cervical day, 23 times a day.
Who's that? Yeah, but you can find ways to eat more. All right? Yeah, most people eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Most people skip breakfast. They eat lunch and dinner. All right? You got to realize most people are out of shape. All right? Most people have, the over average of people have, fat on their stomach. Just do. They have no clue how it got there. But if they looked at all this stuff we asked you today, and every person in here did this, you'd see exactly what's giving you what you have right now. All right? So it's not that you eat too much. It's not that you eat too little. All right? Because if you eat too little, your body's going to store fat because it thinks it's starving. If you eat too much, it automatically stores fat in case you do starve. All right? So you want to eat consistent. You want to be consistent. You want to go one day, eat 5 times a day, and then you hit the weekend, and then you're only eating twice a day. Holiday comes up, you eat extra. Everything you do is affecting you. It's giving you this consequence after. You want to get something going that's going to help you. It's a path. It's this roadmap. You're going to Florida tomorrow. You're going to have a map to get there. You're going to know how to get there. All right? You may go off the map. You may, your car may break down. It may take longer than 22 hours. It may take you 26. You're still going to get there because you know where you're going. Most people don't know where they're going. They have no path. They have no direction. They don't know. They're just ending up because they're doing what they're doing. They're not thinking about what they're doing. They're just saying, oh, lunchtime, let's go down and see what the cafeteria is going to give us for lunch. How many calories is that? I don't know. What is it? I don't know. Whatever they're going to give you. That's what we're going to eat. It's supposed to be. I don't know. You're responsible for that, not them. You're responsible for what you're eating.
What do you mean by in shape? I mean, because I can run 10 miles, no problem, but I can't go out and run a marathon.
Yeah, but if you want to plan for the marathon,
I'm not going to run now.
you're not going to?
No. But I run like 10 miles on my leisure time.
That's good. 10 miles is good.
But what is like in shape mean? Because I can do
It means
certain
you want to
things, but I
make it
can't do other things.
You make it mean something. To me, it would be one thing in shape. To me, to you, it's something else. When you ask people their personal goals, that's in shape. All right? When you're happy with exactly where you are. When you're going exactly where you want to be. All right? Because everybody's going to say in shape. It's like, one person says tone, one person says diesel. All right? To him, a diesel guy's in shape. And then, there's all different forms of it. But when you look at somebody that's obese, that's when you don't say in shape. But to them, it may be in shape. They may be fine. There's fat people that are very happy, right where they are. As long as they're happy with that way. But then most of them aren't happy. As long as you're happy being that. There's people that are fine eating wherever they want. There's people find with a certain amount of body fat. You know, but if you're an athlete, if you're wanting to excel, you know that muscle and endurance and all that stuff is going to be through your training and nutrition. All right, you're probably going to have goals. You're probably going to want, if you were a runner and you were running 10 miles today, and you wanted to run 20 miles, how are you going to do that? It's not by still running 10, still running 10, still running 10. It's trying to go a little bit more. Trying to go a little bit more. All right? The more miles you run, the more calories you burn. You may want to eat a little more. Train a little differently. Look at people that have done that. All right?
I see a lot of, like, because I work down at fitness, and I see a lot of, like, big guys and stuff like that. They're not ripped, but they're big.
Right.
But they're like, they can't run for, you know, they say they don't like.
Maybe they don't want to.
There's a lot of, like, bodybuilders I know, they look like they're in shape, but probably not really.
By your opinion, right?
Cardiovascular.
Cardiovascular. Yeah. In shape can mean a lot of things. You know, out of shape can mean a lot of things. Somebody could be in great shape and you think they're out of shape. It's just, you know, it's just what you're thinking. Just worry about yourself and not about the other people. You know, think about where you want to be. You know, they may want to be somewhere else and still not getting there and still be frustrated. You know, but you don't have to struggle to get better or be frustrated to get better. You just got to look at everything you're doing right now and where you want to be. 10 miles is fine with you, you stick with 10 miles. You want to run 20 miles, you want to do it tomorrow, you know what probably will happen. But if you plan it out, you can know exactly how long it'll take you to do that. There's powerlifters, those big heavy guys that can't run at all. But they could be lifting 150 pounds bench pressing and then want to do 300, they'll have it planned out exactly how they're going to lift 300.
Is it like a difference? Like, my brother, he's big, the bodybuilder.
Yeah.
Like, he grew up the same height, but why am I not getting, he never like the same here?
Is he eating the same as you?
I'm saying, when he was my age,
Yeah.
he was big. And he wouldn't say basically the same as he said.
You want to look, maybe. But I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe we can look here with him.
Inside.
Look at what he does, all right? Look at your life and what you're doing. Look at what your brother did. What changes did he make? He must have made some type of change as his life changed.
He got bigger than me.
He probably ate differently. His workout was different. His life was different. Right? Most of the time, there's some reason. If there's a serious change in the way you look, there's a reason behind it. Right? You just don't change overnight like that. You got to look at, okay, well, what happened that changed? All right?
Pass that big picture around. The Milford picture. The big one, the frame.
That's just an article on the Bodybuilding.
Yeah, let me show you. Look.
I don't want to get off cut.
You make yourself look the way you want to look, right? Some people do want that. All right? All right, so you want to try to get some type of plan on what you're doing. First thing you want to do is look at what it is. All right, so what do you want to weigh? You weigh 155 now. 210? You want to weigh? How tall are you? 6'3"?
I'm only doing it for my profession.
For your sport?
So my profession.
What's your profession?
Sure.
Okay, well, if you want to gain lean mass, you're going to have to, start working out with weights. Right? Now, this is what happens when you work out, right? What happens when you're doing, like, bicep curls? Your bicep gets tight, right? All right? So you're training the bicep muscle, and you're putting stress on it, right? You're curling up, and the muscle's getting really sore, all right? Does the muscle just, like, after that workout, it just gets bigger? All right? All right, well, first thing it feels sore. It's sore because it hurts. You're breaking it down. You're taking the muscle and you're tearing it up. All right? Now, as that muscle repairs itself, it gets better. All right? It's going to repair itself with rest and nutrition. All right? You want to repair it with the proteins. You want to give your body energy for the workout with the carbs. Fat is also essential. Don't make fat like this bad thing you shouldn't be eating. All right, most people think, you know, as long as they don't eat any fat all day, they're doing all right. You still eat a certain amount of calories per day. All right? 1 gram of fat is 9 calories. All right? 1 gram of carbs and 1 gram of protein are 4 each. Okay? Now, if you're taking in a lot of fat in your day, right? Say you eat a bowl of ice cream every single night. All right? It has like 10 grams of fat per serving. You're eating like 2 to 3 servings. So you're having like 30 grams of fat. 30 times 9 would be the amount of calories you have from the fat. All right? So if you're cutting down on the amount of fat, you're cutting down a lot on the amount of calories you're having. Right? So what you want to do is figure out how many calories each thing is. You want to keep it balanced, like we said. So, you know, we're going by the food pyramid because that's been, you know, proven to be the healthiest way to eat. You don't clog your arteries or anything. There's people that eat different. People that do like the Atkins diet, all these other diets out there. You know, one person has one diet, another person has another diet. I don't really advocate any diet. You know, just what you're doing. It's what's so. It's not calories taken in, what you're putting out. Alright, so as you train each muscle, you want it to get bigger and repair itself. First off, you're going to eat more because you want to gain weight. You want to gain muscle. Alright? Now, as you're working out and you're training each muscle, you're breaking it down, it repairs itself, it gets bigger, and it gets stronger. Alright, so you adjust your training for what you want to do. Alright, if you want to gain more muscle, alright, so if you want to gain more muscle, you got to train your body parts. Every one of them want to grow. Alright, you're going to have to eat more than what you're eating now so you can gain weight. That weight being lean mass. Alright? Now somebody train the opposite way. Say somebody wants to lose body fat. You want your abs to come out. What you're going to have to do is train that way to burn more calories aerobically, cardiovascular. And you target heart rate zone like running or biking, something like that. You want to eat more consistently throughout the day. Design each meal so you have to balance, so figure out exactly what you're eating. Alright? It's not the fact of just eating less. Alright? Most people think if they want to lose this, they got to eat less than they eat right now. It's not true. You want to look at how you're eating. Alright? You might not be eating often enough. You might want to get in a couple of meals. You might want to balance them out. Lower the fat percentage, bring up everything else. More quality of food. As you eat something, it's your stomach, your body's breaking down to burn calories. Alright? Burn calories to eat. So you want to eat more often. Alright? If you're eating lower fat foods, you got to eat more quantity. More. Alright? So give your body more food and it'll jump more body fat. Just split it up throughout the day. Wake up in the morning, eat breakfast. Balance your breakfast out. Keep your fat low. Alright? Set each meal in the same way. Alright? Eat like 5 times a day, every 3-4 hours. Do cardio, like bike or do walk, stuff like that. Train with weights for each body part you want to grow. Creatine holds water in the muscle for 5 pounds. That's all. Stop taking it for 5 pounds. It's a temporary thing to help you feel stronger. That's it. Once you gain that 5 pounds, you just maintain that 5 pounds. So it's not bad, it's kind of expensive, and you know, these are temporary things, as long as you know that. What happens is, by holding that 5 pounds, you're really strong, so you're working more, hopefully you make a lot more gains carrying that 5 pounds. So when you stop taking it, drop 5 pounds. Look at the alcohol, you're saying alcohol. You have to use your muscle gains.
I don't want to take
what you're eating, what you're doing, look at everything. You may want to take a supplement to make up for something. You may not have to.